Okay. What's up, guys? It's Den of Geeks here, and as you can see, I'm sitting in a chair, which is insane. I'm actually talking instead of just screenshotting my Letterboxd log like I usually do.
Lazy to write your posts?
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, today we're going to be going through my log, what I watched in March of 2020, and I'll give you my brief thoughts on each one. It's been a shit show of a month, that's for sure. I started off with Under the Skin, continuing my A24 marathon. It was very good, confusing. Scarlett Johansson gave a really, really good performance, and the score was phenomenal. I give that a B. I need to go back and revisit it, as I didn't really properly understand it the first time around, which was by design. But later that day, I watched Locke, which stars Tom Hardy, and was another A24 film, and I really, really, really liked it. If you have not seen Locke, it's on Netflix, at least in the US. Really good. It's just Tom Hardy in a car for an hour and a half, and it's wonderful. On the 2nd of March, I watched The End of Watch, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, from the director of Suicide Squad, and I can very easily say it's a million times better than that piece of shit. On the 4th, I continued my A24 marathon again with Obvious Child, which was a pretty mediocre rom-com. I gave it a C. There's nothing special about it at all, but it's also not that bad. I mean, it's just, I've already forgotten about it. Alright, so on the 6th, I got my wisdom teeth taken out. So I came home, hopped up on sleepy time meds, and I watched some movies. I rewatched Star Wars, Donnie Darko, La La Land, and Punch Drunk Love. They're all perfect. What can I say? Punch Drunk Love is still my favorite movie of all time. And if you have not seen that, well, I'm gonna kill you. Later that day, I also watched Jerry Maguire, which I gave a solid A-. It was really good. Tom Cruise is actually a really good actor. The next day, I watched Rover, which is The Rover, which is another A24 film, and it was pretty not great. You can tell a lot of passion was put into it, but the script was really bland, and overall, it just kind of bored me. After that, I watched The Waking Life by Richard Linklater, a really confusing yet beautiful animated film with some of the most unique animation I've seen. Just the whole style of the whole thing was incredible, and I really, really liked it. I gave that an A-. Oh, fuck. On the 9th, I watched Life After Beth, which is another A24 film. No, I don't like it at all. It was... No. D? I'm giving that a D. On the 13th, I watched Jumanji: The Next Level, and it was mediocre just like the first one. I gave that a C. On the 14th, I watched Sam Raimi's The Love for the Game. Was it very good? No, but I loved it, because I'm a sucker for cheesy baseball movies, so I'm going to give that one a B. On the 15th, one of my followers was kind enough to let me use their Criterion account, so I watched The Gold Rush from Charlie Chaplin, which was fantastic, and I gave it an A-. Very funny, witty. I've never watched a Chaplin movie, so this was a first experience for me, and I really am going to try and watch all of his movies because I love his style. On the 16th, I watched The Kid, and while I did not like it as much as The Gold Rush, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave that a B. On the 17th, I watched Paddington, cute teddy bear, B+. On the 18th, I watched Paddington 2, and it was even better than the first one. I loved it. It was cute, wholesome, charming. Everything was great. Even the villain was better. I didn't like Nicole Kidman in the first one, but in this one, everything just worked a lot better for me. I loved it. I give that an A-. On the 18th, I watched The Skywalker Legacy, which was a full-length documentary on the special features of The Rise of Skywalker, and despite it completely ignoring the prequels in The Last Jedi, I still very much enjoyed it. It does make you respect the movie a lot more. I like seeing the process and just JJ's mindset behind the whole thing, and even though I still am not a huge fan of the movie, it was nice to see everybody's thought process. I didn't rate that just because it's basically a 2-hour-long special feature, but on the 19th, I watched Take Me Out to the Ball Game, which is a old baseball musical starring Frank Sinatra, watched on the Criterion channel, and it sucked. Everybody was really horny and unlikable, and it was bad. I'll give that maybe like a D+, I don't know. On the 20th, I watched Kill the Empire on the Criterion channel. And it was good. I liked the first half a lot more than the second. Felt like after the first half it lost momentum and really didn't know where it was going. But overall I still enjoyed it, so I give that probably a C+. On the 20th I also watched North by Northwest, my second Hitchcock film, and yeah, it was good. I mean, what can I say? B. On the 21st I watched Say Anything, another cheesy old movie. It was good. B. I don't really have much to say in this one. Lots of one-liners came from this one though. On the 21st I also watched Birds of Prey, Will probably make a full-length review for this one at some point, but in short, I enjoyed it. The action scenes were filmed beautifully. I love the wide-shot, long takes. You could actually see what was going on. I wish all action was filmed like this, and it was a beautiful-looking movie. I loved all the characters. The cast was fantastic. I do wish Huntress got some more screen time, though, because she was my favorite character of the bunch. Overall, I give that a B. On the 22nd, I watched The Hunt, which was a interesting film to say the least. It was a political satire wrapped in an action comedy, and as an action comedy it works really well, but as a satire I felt it was kind of disjointed and didn't really push a specific idea, which I almost liked, but it still felt random and scattered as they were just taking shots at absolutely everybody, and it didn't seem like it had a clear point it was trying to make, but I enjoyed it nonetheless, so I give that a B+. On the 22nd, I rewatched Blade Runner 2049, for the first time in about a year and a half, and it's perfect. I mean, you guys know how much I love this movie. I just wish people would praise the rest of the movie as much as they praise the cinematography of it, because I feel like that's all that's talked about nowadays is the cinematography, which is wonderful. It's one of the most orgasmic movies ever, but I feel like there's so much more to this movie that people just kind of ignore. On the 22nd, I also watched Gone Girl. I love Fincher. He's a great director, and this might just be my favorite movie from him. It's intense, it's gripping. Everything about this movie just works super well. Ben Affleck gives a fantastic performance. It's creepy. I really can't name anything wrong with it. I'm going to give that an A. On the 24th, I watched Lady Bird, directed by Greta Gerwig. I was going to save this for my A24 marathon, but I just gave up. I caved and I just watched it because I couldn't wait any longer. I love Little Women so much, so I was really eager to check this out. And it was even better than I thought it would be. Lady Bird is basically perfect. Greta Gerwig is such a good filmmaker. Like, and this lady has so much talent. Like, I watched Frances Ha earlier today, and she's a really good actress too. It's perfect, A+. On the 25th, I watched James Gunn's Super. There were 3 rape scenes in it. I didn't need to see that. Look, I see what he was going for with Super. I do, and there were parts of it I really liked. But there were just so much stuff that felt like it was written by a 12-year-old trying to be edgy. Like, it's like you took a Leafy fan when they're like 12, and then you said, hey, write a script. Some of the jokes felt like that. They were just super vulgar and offensive. There was no substance to it, I felt. And it's not terrible. I guess it's just not my style of humor. It just didn't work for me. I'd probably give that a C+ or a D-. On the 26th, I watched the old western Django. Now, there's an interesting story here. My grandpa, when I went to visit him, and he said, you gotta watch this movie, it's the worst movie I've ever seen. And I said, what is it? He said, Django. And I said, oh boy. Because I've had Django on my watch list for a while now. So I watched it, but I watched the dubbed version. And I hate watching the dubbed versions. I always prefer subtitles under every single scenario. But nonetheless, I mean, it was decent. It was really cheesy and kind of funny, but
It was so good. What are you talking
yeah, Django was the best movie ever. A+. On the 26th, I also had the misfortune of watching John Travolta's The Fanatic.
I can't talk too long. I gotta poo.
I'm gonna give that an F. On the 26th, I rewatched 21 Jump Street with my grandparents. It's fun. It's cliche. The arcs are dumb and stupid, but I like it anyways, B+. On the 28th, I watched Chef. Rewatched Chef. And Chef is still a really great movie by Jon Favreau. I love this movie, man. I don't know what it is. It's just so chill, relaxed, and laid back. There's no tension. It's just a movie. It's just people doing stuff. It's just people living. And I love that. It's such a simplistic story. And Jon Favreau, by the way, gives a really great performance, as does everybody in it. And I love this movie so much. On the 29th, I rewatched Clerks with my grandma, and she hated it, despite liking Borat. So that was strange. But Clerks is still one of my favorite comedies ever made. It's cleverly written. It is inspiring as an aspiring filmmaker to see a movie like this. You know, a movie that was made on basically nothing. I mean, if you read the behind-the-scenes stuff on this, it's really incredible. And Clerks will always be, I'll always love Clerks. I give that an A. On the 30th, I finally watched Jaws after so freaking long. I know. I finally watched it. I don't know why it took so long. And Jaws, it's Jaws. It's really good, man. A minus. And on the 30th, I watched Begin Again, starring Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley. And it actually took me off guard how good this thing was. I expected it to be a by-the-books rom-com, but it did a little bit more than that. I really, really liked it. I mean, there were certain aspects of it that were a bit cliche and cheesy. There's a few things I could have done without, but overall, I really liked it. If you have not seen this, it's a good, feel-good movie. I definitely recommend checking it out. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. So if you have that, go watch it. It's a really good movie. I give that an A minus. And yeah, that concludes what I watched in March of 2020. Let's see how April goes. I'm sure it can't be worse than March, right?